Good day to all of you. I am Diaz Zinurin and the warmest welcome to the new time on Jibek Joly World. Demand for oilseed products made in Kazakhstan is growing globally. The supply of sunflower oil abroad for the year increased 2.5 times, according to Energy Prom KZ. Such figures certainly speak for oilseed production rise as well. More than 422,000 tons of refined and unrefined vegetable oil have been produced in the country over 9 months of this year, which is a quarter more than the year before. The largest volume of production of 181,000 tons of oil is accounted for the East Kazakhstan region. The Abay region and Shymkent city also entered the top 3 manufacturing regions. Experts attribute the increase in exports of oil, domestic products, to the geopolitical situation in the world. New directions are now open for Kazakhstan. Moreover, it occupies one of the most profitable niches in the oilseed production at the moment. This year, that helped entrepreneurs from the East Kazakhstan region to enter the European market for the first time. Kazakh farmers will receive over 5 billion tenge in subsidies. The amount is provided in the state budget for the delivery of raw materials to oilseed plants for processing. The funds will be directed to support agricultural producers of western and northern Kazakhstan, as well as the Akmola, Aktobe, Kostanay, Pavlodar and Turkestan regions. Preparations for the early presidential election are in full swing in Kazakhstan. Thus, 493 polling stations will be open on election day in the Jambul region. All of them will be full ready on November the 7th. Meanwhile, more than 3,500 election commission members are verifying the lists and will start distributing invitations for participation in the electoral process in a few days. Over 700,000 Jambul residents are expected to cast their vote.
Another 10 observers will come from abroad. Then there are those arriving from neighboring states as well. According to a preliminary count, 1,479 observers will monitor the election process at 493 polling stations. 30 or 35 of them will be foreigners. International election observers will work in all districts.
The polling stations will fully comply with the barrier-free environment concept. Voting places will be adapted for easy access to persons with disabilities. The Braille-enabled ballot papers will be made available for them. There will also be taxis with disabled access operating in 13 settlements of the East Kazakhstan region. On election day, 496 polling stations in the region will be placed on the ground floors of the buildings for convenience. Voter lists will be carefully checked during the election process. They will be reviewed multiple times prior to the polling day. In addition, Kazakh citizens will be sent election notifications via text messaging.
Once again, together with the Central Election Commission, we urge every citizen to check whether they are on the voter list in advance. This can be done by contacting the call center of the local executive authority. Also, in cooperation with the Ministry of Digital Development, we will start sending SMS notifications in the next 2 or 3 days.
Kazakhstan developed the Code of Conduct for Independent Observers intended to ensure a fair election process. The guideline is a 13-paragraph public document. Its purpose is to ensure that everyone follows the rules whilst performing their duties. According to the code, observers must strictly adhere to political impartiality at all times, respect the work of other organizations, conduct public control, and not impede the election process. In addition, they must abide by the rule of law, comply with the principle of transparency, and be impartial to all the candidates. Observers have 12 rights, 7 duties, and 4 prohibitions. According to the election law, the number of observers in the country grows every year. In the 2019 presidential election, there were 45,000 observers. Their number topped 74,000 in the last year's parliamentary election. At least 100,000 observers will be involved this time.
заңды білмеу тарапынан не болмаса.
Practice shows that sometimes observers themselves violate the rules of the election process due to ignorance of the law or lack of experience. Therefore, we have developed a public document, the Observer Code of Conduct. We want to adopt it and recommend it to the Central Election Commission to make all observers adhere to it and to ensure openness and transparency of the process.
Collaboration of art and science. The first Central Asian BioArts exhibition was opened in Astana. It is organized by the iGEM Student Club of Nazarbayev University with the support of Kulanshi Contemporary Art Center. The unique exhibition is devoted to the environment, biology, and the theme of human diversity.
For almost a year, young scientists and students of Nazarbayev University nourished the idea of opening such an unusual exhibition. The main goal was to convey the wealth and diversity of the biological world to mankind through art, as not everyone was familiar with it. For example, this work of Anel Umirbayeva represented special tactical 3D models of plant and animal cells designed for children with visual impairments. The author noted that they symbolize the unity of the living organism and all living things in general. Here you can find a lot of my works, pictures that were made in our Nazarbayev University laboratories, and the exhibition is fully adapted to blind people. Here you can see the description in 3 languages which are written in Braille. We also provide audio description that helps to navigate people through exhibition. Besides, it will become inclusive and accessible to people without any limitations. BioArt and biodesign are popular trends in Western countries.
Это популярное течение в западных странах.
Students try to showcase the extraordinary beauty and uniqueness of human DNA, as well as living organisms like bacteria, animal, and plant cells. Along with this, all authors endeavor to reflect the current problems of mankind in their exhibits and photographs. The exhibition is unique in its content and perception. It unveils human development and environmental problems, as well as the issues related to animal species of the rare data book. The exposition displays unusual and unique exhibits indeed, since pictures made by using snail mucus and ants, as well as a human cell magnified 1,000 times, are not something you see every day. I mean, it's fascinating and beautiful at the same time.
Будем смотреть на человеческую клетку, увеличенную в 1000 раз. То есть это, во-первых, это интересно, во-вторых, это красиво.
The exhibition will run for no more than 2 weeks because part of the exhibits representing living organisms in test tubes cannot be stored in such conditions longer, the organizers note. So those who want to visit the BioArts exhibition need to hurry up.
The Brazilian tour of Kazakhstan's popular chamber and instrumental ensemble FORTE TRIO was a massive success. Domestic musicians performed concerts in 4 major metropolises of the country, including Rio de Janeiro, Belém, Goiânia, and the capital. During the tour, pianist Timur Urmanchev, violinist Maksat Jusupov, and cellist Murat Narbekov played masterpieces of European classical music, as well as arranged Kazakh folk songs and works by contemporary Kazakh composers. Apart from that, the trio gave a masterclass to the local musicians. It's worth noting that Kazakh music will also be included in the permanent repertoire of the Brazilian orchestras.
Наше турне, оно в первую очередь посвящено налаживанию таких культурных связей между.
The main purpose of this tour was to establish cultural ties between our countries because the bands or solo artists from Kazakhstan have not performed in Brazil for a very long time, if they ever did. Nonetheless, we found much common ground between our countries and all of our concerts were sold out.
Наших культур. Должен сказать, что все концерты прошли при полных аншлагах.
My impressions could not be better. It's always amazing to me how a concerto, like Beethoven's Triple Concerto, that is basically the only known piece, the only standard, I would say, piece apart from contemporary works and other lesser known works. But this is the most standard concerto for this formation of violin, cello, and piano.
That's all the news we've got for you today. Make sure to stay tuned, and I will see you very soon.